I'm already a millionaire in my mind. I don't see it yet, but I believe it now. In the same way a seed is called by its finished form, I'm accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. I'm meant to have life and have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. My name is Julian Gordon, and I'm author of Rich and Righteous: Spiritual Secrets to Mastering Money, Manifestation, and Your Mind. After becoming a multimillionaire through real estate investing, I was moved by God at the beginning of the pandemic to share my money mindset that allowed me to quit my job in January of 2009 at the bottom of the last recession and achieve full financial freedom. I own my mental real estate before I own any physical real estate. This book is like some of your favorites: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, and the Bible all in one. But the divine downloads and thoughts that are in here are 100% original and came for a 6-month period at the beginning of the pandemic. This book is normally $100 on Amazon if you went there right now, but I want to give you access to it for free by inviting you to our next reading group. Yes, the reading group is 100% free. Every weekday for 100 days straight, I'll be reading and discussing the 10 money commandments in the book that make money come to you in your life easily, more frequently, and abundantly. And it will take about 30 to 45 minutes as we read 3 to 5 pages per day until we finish the book and reprogram your mind around money. Why 100 days? Well, if you are 30 years old, you've lived for 10,950 days. And we have to deprogram and reprogram the negative, scarcity-based money mindset society has taught you. And I believe I can do that in just 1% of the time in about 100 days. I'm done with shelf help. You know, when you buy a book to change your life, but you never read it, it just sits on your bookshelf and collects a whole bunch of dust. We off that. When is the last time you had an author actually read their book to you out loud because they cared about you getting the information in your soul? I'm not just here to get this book in your hands. More importantly, I want to get it in your head and your heart, because that's where the real transformation occurs, in the conscious and the subconscious mind. As scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is not the type of book that you just read once. To renew the subconscious mind requires repetition over and over and over. So if you joined us last time, I encourage you to join us again. I myself have read this book over 10 times already. So click the link to join our next reading group, and when you sign up, I'm gonna give you the first 2 chapters of the book for absolutely free on what is money and abundance is your birthright, so that you can start your journey to a more abundant life today.
What's good, family? What's good, family? Welcome back. Welcome back to another reading of the Rich and Righteous. We are on day 3. Day 3. Happy to see you guys tapping in for day 3. If we recall, yesterday was day 2. Yesterday, what does money want and where is money? And one of my takeaways from yesterday, when it came to what does money want, the goal is to be great, to be a great giver. But to do that, you must also become a better receiver. Be a great giver, but also become a great receiver. The last time I read this book with Julian, and he did it live, same way I'm doing it now. One thing he said was, you always want to put yourself in position to be ready to receive. At the time, didn't quite know what that meant, but he always said, if you're a blessing to somebody, they're also going to be a blessing to you, and you need to be ready to receive that blessing. If there's something that you was doing and I wanted to compensate you and I didn't have any cash, you should have your Cash Apps, your Venmos, your Zelles, and everything ready and in position to receive. It's not that you're being greedy, but if somebody want to bless you, and that's the way that they bless you, you need to be in position to be blessed. I can recall one day I had a flat tire on my trailer. It was in the middle of the highway. I had just finished a landscape project for a customer, and I had a flat tire. I pulled over, fixed my flat tire, but while I was fixing my flat tire, there was a truck that pulled behind me. I thought it was just a good Samaritan pulling behind me so nobody would running to me while I was changing my flat tire. As soon as I finished changing my tire, I gave them the thumbs up because I was just letting them know that I was appreciative of them blocking traffic while I fixed my tire. Lo and behold, it was a Hispanic female. She also had a flat tire, which I couldn't see at the time. So she wanted me to help her repair her tire. So I was a blessing for her, and she was a blessing for me. I was in the right place at the right time. I was already down and out and broke down. I had to spend my time fixing my tire, but she was so appreciative that I helped her fix her tire. She blessed me with $100. She didn't have any cash. She asked me if I had a Venmo. I just so happened to have a Venmo. So I was in position to receive. I gave, and in turn, I was in position to receive, and she gave me $100 for fixing a tire. About 15-minute project, $100. So I just wanted to share that story because that part of the module from yesterday kind of resonated with me. Be a great giver, but also be in position to receive. All right, we're going into day 3. Day 3 is going to be a quick read. Day 3. Today we will be discussing, is money the root of all evil? Once we're done with the reading, definitely want you guys to tap in the comment section below. Let us know what your takeaways are, starting with, is money the root of all evil?
Is money the root of all evil? For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. 1 Timothy 6:10. Money is not the root of all evil. The scripture is clear in that it says the love of money is the root of all evil. I would add that the love and lack of money is the root of all evil. When you love something, you put it above all else. Therefore, when you love money, you put it above God. How could you love the substance more than the source of the substance? This is not to say that you can't love many things at once, but there are levels to love. We may say that we aspire to love unconditionally, but there are people who you love and would die for, and people you love that you would not risk your life for. Nobody loves everyone the same except God. It makes sense to love people, but it does not make sense to love things. How do we start putting things over people? In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, or Atom and Eve, or the division of the first atom, supposedly ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. This allegory speaks to us as human beings exploring the duality of good and evil, right and wrong, light and darkness. This dualistic perspective that something is either right or wrong, this or that, and cannot be both or neither is the cause of almost all confrontation. When we apply this dualistic thinking to money, the result is a flawed financial perspective. If someone believes that rich people are evil, the belief behind that belief, or the belief that may be born from that belief, is that money comes from doing evil, or that money itself is evil. So if you see yourself as a good person, then you've trapped yourself in a cage built by your beliefs, because if money is evil, then no money is good. Therefore, you gaining money goes against your ideas of being a good person, and you subconsciously self-sabotage and reject wealth from coming into your life. The rich are America's #1 lust and #1 villain. Hence shows like Billions, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, or American Greed. False beliefs about money result in slogans that demonize the 1% simply because they have acquired a lot of money. The best way to keep people poor is to make them believe that money is evil. This is why the Occupy Wall Street movement was falsely targeting the 1%. It wasn't because everyone in the 1% was wrong, but because we've been programmed to believe that being rich is wrong and can't be righteous. What if the 1% are good people, but they just worked harder or smarter than you? What if they were willing to take risks that you were not? What if they had the courage to walk in their purpose and the economic resources provided to them were a gift from God? One cannot honestly believe that everyone who crosses a certain financial threshold is evil. Who determines what that threshold is? Is that threshold for anyone who has more money than you? Are the top 5% evil? What about the top 10%? What happens if you were to cross that financial threshold yourself? Would you suddenly become evil? Or would you be the one exception to the rule? A lot of our programming comes from when we were children, especially our financial programming, even though we were just learning arithmetic at the time. If you think about many of the cartoons you watch as a kid, or even movies produced by Unholywood, most of the villains were rich and greedy. Lex Luthor was the rich, evil, greedy man against Superman, who of course stood for righteousness. Mr. Burns was Homer Simpson's rich, evil, greedy boss who takes capitalism to the extreme. Cruella de Vil is the rich, evil, glamorous woman who kidnaps Dalmatians for their fur. This continues into adulthood with fictional characters such as Marvel's Magneto, Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars, Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones, or Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. This subconsciously teaches you to hate the rich and hate money and thus repel it. You can't have money and hate money at the same time. Greed, not green, is the source of our earthly problems. Greed comes from the false belief in scarcity or poverty consciousness. Scarcity is the belief that there is not enough, you won't have enough, you are not enough, and God is not enough. Someone can have a lot of money in hand and still have a poverty consciousness in their head. Greedy folks want more than they need because they believe there is not enough. As a result, they take from other individuals, and this is where unrighteous behavior begins. But God is a God of abundance. There is no lack in God. When things are obtained unrighteously, the fear of God's wrath, which is just karma, erodes the soul from within. Greed is the path to becoming materially rich, but spiritually broke. Instead, what if you believe that money is the result of doing good? Would that free you up to stop judging and blaming and actually harness the God-given power in you to manifest the life you desire and bring heaven on earth? Money can help solve many problems in today's world, but the righteous who have a positive charge simply don't have enough money because of a subconscious belief that lots of money is bad and less money is good. Jesus said, I am come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. Poverty, scarcity, lack, fear, doubt, worry, struggle, stress, and brokenness are not characteristics of God or children of God. We are acting out of character, and when we do so, we sin. By sin, I don't mean you are damned to hell. In archery, sin means to miss the mark. And that's what many of us are doing due to our programming and many money myths. I believe that the belief in scarcity is the root of all evil because it leads to the love of money and the lack of money. Notice I said the belief in scarcity. Scarcity is not real. Money is not scarce. The land of milk and money is as abundant as you believe it to be. Notice I said the belief in scarcity. Scarcity is not real. Money is not scarce. The land of milk and money is as abundant as you believe it to be. Nor is money evil. It is negatively or positively charged by the hand that holds it in the direction it is used. Money is good because I make it so. Negativity has a charge but no material mass. A negative electron only weighs 1/2000th of a proton. The negative charge is necessary to preserve the balance. However, it doesn't have to have a material mass in our individual experience, which I call our personal economy, or our collective experience, which we call the economy. Every dollar or unit of stored energy that flows to and through me is made good because I transmute it into ideals, ideas, individuals, and investments I believe are doing good or God's work. When we lack money, it makes it harder for us to do good or God's work. Instead of walking in our purpose, we work for someone else's. If their purpose is aligned with God and your purpose, that's fine. But if it is not, you will be taxed spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. Accepting that money is just stored energy that gives you more power to do good will change how you feel about money, how you get money, how much money you have, and how you use it.
All right, some takeaways from this reading here. I like about scarcity mindset. Someone can have a lot of money in hand and still have a poverty consciousness in their head. Greedy folks want more than they need because they believe there is not enough. Scarcity mindset. So when you finally get some money, you hold on tight to it. And remember, in the previous chapters, money is energy. It's supposed to circulate. Currency is supposed to flow. So when you poverty mindset people tend to hold on to things because they have a scarcity mindset, don't know when they're going to be able to get any more. So when they do get it, they hold on to it instead of releasing it so it'll come back to them double. Just like you got one seed, if you plant that one seed, it'll grow and create many fruit. But some people holding on to that one seed because that's all they have, that one seed. Scarcity mindset. They don't want to lose it. Moving on to the next reading, we're going to Is Money True Wealth?
Is money true wealth? It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Matthew 4:4. Having a lot of money is not true wealth. Wealth. Money is a means to an end, not the end game. Money is just a tool. We don't want money. People are actively looking for ways to part with their money all of the time because there are countless things in the world more valuable than money. Some needs, some wants, some tangible, some intangible. If people just wanted money, we would never buy anything. But we consume because there are things that others create that are more valuable to us than money in our bank account. Ask yourself, why am I seeking to make money? If you kept every dollar you made, you would have a lot of money, but would your life be rich? A pile of money does nobody any good. Money has no inherent value. You can't eat it, drink it, wear it, stay warm with it, or make love with it. In most cases, it's just paper or coin. Paper comes from trees and coins are rocks. What can a dollar bill do? Perhaps a dollar bill could be used to write on or fuel a fire. What can a coin do? We could skip coins on a lake or use them as paperweights. Most money doesn't have functional use. Again, money is a man-made invention created to facilitate exchange easier. We give money its value. Again, money is a man-made invention created to facilitate exchange easier. We give money its value. We only want money because of what we think it can get us, and then we get those things to get a feeling. Paper money is a depreciating asset when you account for annual inflation. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the world. It only yields 0.03% interest in your savings account. The name of the game is to trade your cash up for more valuable, tangible, and intangible assets. Ironically, early humankind had many of these things we now pay for in abundance, like water, fruit, family time, free time, peace, and quiet. Now that we are caught up in this money-driven system, we have to use the money we make to buy them back and our way out of the matrix. Go get your paper, but never lose sight of the real goal of true wealth. These 6 tangible and intangible assets below are essential for a life of freedom. You will notice that money is not one of them. However, money can help you get some of them. 1. Water, required for life. 2. Energy, in your body, quality of food, electricity, fire, and warmth. 3. Assets, real estate, businesses, land, intellectual property. 4. Love, for self, for others, and by others. 5. Time, freedom to choose how you spend your day. And 6. Health, mental and physical health. You are not rich until you have things money can't buy, like love, peace of mind, purpose, health, friendship, faith, integrity, and gratitude. Sometimes the only way to recognize how important something truly is by losing it momentarily or permanently. Everybody is chasing money and forgetting what transcends money and makes money worthless if absent. What do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? You can have all the money in the world, but without physical health, mental health, and time, the money is useless. We are seeking to design our lives in such a way that money doesn't dictate our decision. We came here to be alive, not just to make a living. And this is what freedom offers.
All right, quick read today. This concludes day 3. Day 3 is officially in the books. What are your takeaways from day 3? I typically like towards the end here, 6 tangible assets for life of freedom. And you would notice that money is not one of them. Water, energy, assets, love, time, health. The 6 tangibles of wealth is also the acronym for wealth. Water, energy, assets, money love, is a means to an end. WEALTH. Money is not the end game. At the end of the day, you are really chasing money because of what money can do for you. Money is not the end game. You need money to put into an asset. The asset is what's more important to you than the money. Money is not the end game. If people just wanted money, then they never would buy anything. They would work, get the money, and then just sit on the money. but ultimately we use the money to get the things that we want, the things that we love. So money is not the end game. A lot of people working and hustling for the money, and then they sit on the money. Remember, money is energy and it's supposed to be in circulation. The whole reason you are going after the money is so you can use the money to get the things that will make you happy and free. So don't necessarily get caught up on the money, but get caught up on what the money can do for you. Time, freedom, helping others. And in turn, it always comes back to you. Give and be in position to receive. Don't look to receive, just be in position to receive. So when they ask the question, is money true wealth? Money is not true wealth, but the money can provide you with the assets that bring you true wealth. This concludes day 3. Day 3 is in the books. Next week, we'll have a full 5 days of reading, and we will be starting with Abundance is Your Birthright. It's going to be a nice section there. Abundance is your birthright. Looking forward to tapping in with you guys on Monday. Once again, day 3 is in the books. Go ahead and comment below what are your takeaways, and look forward to our reading on Monday. We're going to get hot and heavy. We're going to get nitty gritty down into abundance in your birthright. A lot of people don't believe that, but you were put on this earth to not be poor. Everybody was put on this earth to be abundant. And this chapter is going to explain that and break it down and how we can get your mind wrapped around you are abundant. Day 3 in the books. See y'all next week. Salute.